1900s in America, the average sugar intake was about 5 pounds a year of sugar, and the obesity rates were 0.75%, so less than 1% of the country was obese. By 1994, the sugar level had increased to about 40 to 50 pounds of sugar a year, and the obesity rates were at 10%. So it's 1994. By 2014, the sugar increased to over 150 pounds of sugar a year, and it's 37.5% obesity. So if you do the math, I mean, in the next 15 years, 30 years, what's going to happen? I mean, it's going to be a massive epidemic of obesity. But by 1994, I guess till now, it just started becoming added to everything. So even things that you don't even think are sugary, like certain crackers and jams and juices, and even things that aren't even sweet, certain salsas and meat type things, and prepackaged goods, and all these things, and yogurts that have fruit that look really healthy, but they're loaded with sugar. This is when things really start spiking, as well as the advent of artificial sweetening type compounds like high fructose corn syrups and all of these things, because they're cheap. They're very easy to add to food, and they're super, super sugary, right? So we have a massive sugar epidemic going on, and they predict by about 2030 that the number of people living with diabetes, or number of people increased with diabetes in North America, be something like 30 million people. It's crazy, and it's addictive. It makes people crave. It spikes our sugar, causing a massive sugar drop after, making us crave more. And because it's in so many foods, even foods we don't realize have sugar, people eat way more than they think.
When most people, we've done sugar-free challenges or no sugar, you know, most people are like, I could do that. Like, I don't really eat it. I don't eat much sugar. And then when we kind of go over the rules, you have to read all your ingredient list, and the kind of names sugar is under, and you know, because they're tricking us now. They don't usually just say sugar.
Of course not.
And so people are blown away, like, oh my goodness, I just went to the grocery store and I can't buy anything except for fruits and vegetables.
They get scared. You got to be careful with the wheat-free, gluten-free type breads. They may have a mixture of a bunch of different kinds of starches into them. And remember, when you mix starches, it also makes it hard for the body to digest that. So a lot of gluten-free breads, for example, will have rice and maybe corn or potato flour mixed in together. Which, I mean, is fine because it seems like natural ingredients, but that bread is very difficult to digest. It can still cause spikes in blood sugar. It can also cause weight gain and other kinds of things, even though it is gluten-free. So they're right. When it says gluten-free, I mean, they're right about that. It's not that they're lying, but you got to be careful about what the ingredients in these breads. Also, some of them have a lot of sugar in the bread, because you can sell a lot of sugar and be gluten-free. You know, I've seen some gluten-free stores that say, oh, we have this wonderful gluten-free stuff. It's fantastic. But I think people make the assumption that gluten-free means healthy. Right. But when they read the ingredients, I mean, when I read the ingredients, some of them are like basically junk food without gluten. So it's still got sugar and coloring and dyes and chemicals and, I mean, ingredients you can't understand. And the rule is, I mean, if you pick up something and you read the ingredients and you don't understand one of those ingredients, it's probably a good idea not to buy it.
Yes,
I mean, because neither can your body. Your body's like, what the heck is that? I don't understand what that is. So if you don't understand it, then neither does the body. So you gotta be careful. Our grains are quite modified here in North America. Wheat is kind of like that, where we try and make it good by modifying things we think are really beneficial, like more mass, more gluten, inability to resist or ability to resist pests, pesticides, things like that. It seems like a really great thing, but unfortunately we've modified the grain in such a way that the body can't tolerate that anymore. And since about 1995, 96, most of the grain in North America has gone this way. So that's why, you know, people, when they read books like Wheat Belly and stuff like that, they say, well, it's just a fad because people have been eating wheat for years, and you know, this is just a fad that's going to come and go. This whole grain-free or wheat-free thing is just garbage. But really, wheat is a lot different now than it used to be. And I see it a lot, especially with my patients who are European. They'll come here from Europe, maybe on a work term or just move here permanently. And they right away, they notice a change in the wheat. Like it makes them gain weight. They don't feel particularly good. They feel sluggish. They start developing certain conditions. Arthritis is a big one, especially morning arthritis in the morning. Hands are very stiff, eczema issues, or increased allergies and sensitivities. Because when you eat a grain that aggravates the body, even though it looks like wheat, doesn't absorb like wheat in the body, it creates inflammation, and that comes out in a wide variety of things, from mood to skin to bowel to joints to many things. And the aisles are where people suffer, because in the aisles are where all the packaged goods are. Even the ones that market themselves as being healthy, you gotta be very, very careful, because what looks healthy on the outside may not be on the inside, right? Like even, I think like Fruit Loops has like a whole grain check mark on it and stuff like that. It's got a health check on it. I mean, how can that have a health check on it? I mean, it just, but people look at the health check and like, it's a health check. I mean, why would they lie to me, right? But in reality, you got to use logic sometimes. The stuff's, you know, green and blue and orange and purple. So it's not ideal, but it's hidden in so many things. So if you just start eating properly, it makes such a big difference in just dropping the sugar load down. If you go off it for like a few days and say, well, I didn't see any change. I mean, you have to be off it for a while. It can't be one of those, I stopped it for breakfast and I still don't feel any difference.
Which is why we've done it. We usually do it for a long period of time. Typically it's 50 days. And at the beginning, you know, it's painful for everybody. Who's in a lot of pain. They're starving, and the withdrawal symptoms are, you know, remarkable, really. Yeah. And it's not until like week 2, week 3, people start to see. And then we find after the 50 days, people don't even want to go back to the way they were eating before.
That's exactly the point. I tell patients this all the time. Like, they give up things they think they really want, and it makes them feel bad initially, and they think they want it. But when they feel better, and they feel all these things that happen, and they have energy like they haven't had in years, and weight loss, and all these things, all the things they gave up to feel better, they don't care about them anymore. They're like, they're almost upset. Like, why did I even need to drink that much coffee in the morning, and why did I have that much bread? I don't even know what the heck I was thinking. And they're almost shocked at themselves after, like 3 months later. But initially, I mean, the first week, they're like, I hate you, I hate this program, and nothing's working, and I feel worse, actually. And it also shows how addicted we are.